Well, I guess on that topic, before we get to the Dynamite review, talking about things that there's some clarity on, there's no clarity on what happened there. There's so many things in AEW that there's never any clarity on, and because of that, nothing goes away. We're still talking about Brawl Out. I mean, we always will. We're still talking about the fact that someone named it Brawl Out. All this time later, it's still the biggest story in AEW. The Chris Jericho story, we talked about this. This hasn't gone away. We'll talk about Dynamite, how they tried to make people not hear the reaction he would get from their seemingly most loyal fans in Jacksonville. That was a hot crowd for them.
Hometown crowd.
Hometown crowd.
Not large, but hot.
Jim, I'm going to report on a story that broke overnight. Let me just say for the record, I had nothing to do with this. I don't know who this reporter is. I've never spoken to him. So he did his own research, but a lot of people, specifically in the Cult of Cornette Facebook group, have been sending this in because obviously it ties into something we just talked about on the show. A reporter named Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reports that on the second Chris Jericho Rock and Rager at Sea, which is what he calls his cruise, that hip name, the Rock and Rager at Sea, Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, excuse me. In January 2020, a confrontation took place between Chris Jericho on his cruise ship and MVP. And according to the reporting of Cassidy Haynes, MVP, for one reason or another, knocked out Chris Jericho on his very own cruise ship. And that is now out there, and it's being reported, and...
You alluded to that here last week or sometime recently on the program, because I guess now that you mention it, that didn't get wide reporting at the time. I remember hearing about that, and didn't, as a result of that, didn't they have a verbal altercation of some description at a hotel here about a year and a half ago, or however long ago?
Yeah, maybe even longer.
An elevator altercation where there was yelling and contretemps occurring.
Well, from what we were told, Jericho basically ran from MVP, and then as the elevator door closed and MVP was at least trying to have some kind of discourse, I don't know if it would have turned into a fight again, Jericho said, "I don't fight jobbers," right when the door closed.
That's what it was.
Is that a bitch move, or is that not a bitch move? Is that like, I got the last line, so haha, or...
Well, you know what? But no, it's a risky thing, because some of those elevator doors, they don't have the same timing. So you can't really be sure. And plus, the guy could have the presence of mind to fucking hit the goddamn door open button, and then, well, there you are. Because now, because of the handicapped people, they have to ruin everything. You can't get elevator doors that close quickly anymore.
Jim, let's talk about wrestlers getting knocked out on their own vehicles, whether it's a plane or a boat.
Train, boat, car. But no, but so the point is, whoever this, whatever type of conveyance that they choose to putter around in. But no, I've heard that story. It's been so long ago, as you said, 2020, and I forgot that it wasn't really widely reported at that time. I didn't say anything about it because I just heard the story. We didn't have confirmation or whatever, but apparently now there's more people saying this.
And again, that was 1 year after the AEW title was stolen from him the night he won it, when he went out drinking for some reason. So,
but hey, the thing is, he could have forgot to lock the door of the car, or, whatever the case.
He had a driver.
Oh, the driver could have. Actually, the limo driver that Crockett got for me in the Midnight Express when we did publicity in New York before the first show, locked his keys in his fucking limousine. We had to sit at a McDonald's for an hour and a half. But nevertheless. So now that makes MVP and Jericho in their career altercations. We got Jericho's 0 for 1, MVP's 1 for 0.
And that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. MVP's a bit of a badass from everything I've ever heard. Who wants to pick a fight with him?
I mean, he is trained and etc. I don't know if he would.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd consider himself an adopted member of the Gracie family, but look at Jericho. I don't think it'd be a fucking issue.
That episode was called Dr. Roxo Goes Down.